The old house creaked and groaned like a dying beast. Rain lashed against the windows, each drop sounding like a tiny, frantic fist. I was house-sitting for my aunt, a place she inherited from a distant relative she'd never met. The air inside was thick with dust and the scent of decay, a perfume of forgotten lives. I'd been here 3 days, and the unease had been a constant, gnawing companion. It started with whispers, faint, like static on a bad radio signal, just at the edge of hearing. I'd dismiss it as the wind or the house settling. Then the whispers coalesced, gaining a chilling clarity. They weren't words I could understand, more like a guttural hiss, a chorus of dissent. They seemed to emanate from the walls themselves, a low hum that vibrated in my teeth. One night, I was in the kitchen, making a mug of tea. The kettle hissed, a comforting sound that was quickly drowned out by a sudden, sharp intake of breath from the hallway. I froze, my hand hovering over the tea bag. Silence. Then, a voice, cold and sibilant, slithered from the darkness. "You don't belong here." My blood ran cold. It wasn't the wind. It wasn't the house. It was directed at me. I backed away slowly, my eyes darting towards the shadowy entrance of the hall. "Who's there?" I managed to croak out, my voice trembling. A low chuckle, like pebbles grinding together, answered me. "We are." Then the temperature plummeted. Frost bloomed on the inside of the kitchen window. The whispers intensified, no longer mere sounds, but a palpable presence pressing in on me. They were angry, resentful, a multitude of voices speaking in unison. Their words, a venomous torrent of accusations and threats. I could almost see them now, shadowy figures flickering at the periphery of my vision, their forms indistinct, like smoke. My aunt had warned me about the house's history, a vague mention of unsettling events. I dismissed it as old wives' tales. Now I understood. The house wasn't just old, it was occupied. I fled to the living room, slamming the door behind me, my heart hammering against my ribs. I fumbled for my phone, desperate to call someone, anyone. But the screen remained stubbornly black, dead. Panic began to set in. The whispers seeped under the door, growing louder, more insistent. Then came the scratching. From inside the walls, a frantic, desperate sound, like claws tearing at plaster. It moved, following me, a relentless pursuit within the very structure of the house. I could feel the pressure building, the unseen entities demanding something, their malevolence a tangible force. I remember seeing my reflection in the darkened window. Behind me, just for a fleeting second, a pair of glowing red eyes stared back. A guttural growl rumbled, a sound that vibrated deep within my chest, a primal fear I had never known. I screamed, a raw, ragged sound that was swallowed by the cacophony of the house. The whispers weren't just in my head anymore. They were all around me, clawing at my sanity, pulling me into the suffocating darkness that had claimed this place, and I feared was now claiming me. The rain continued its relentless assault, each drop now sounding like a nail being driven into a coffin lid.